by special arrangement. The following is an unpaid program. The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the Found Footage Festival or VCR Party Live.
Well, hello, Melinda's.
Hello.
Welcome to uh, hello, Melinda's. Welcome to Post-Party Porch Party, the show where we keep it weird watching whatever we feel like watching after VCR Party. I'm Molly. I'm your hostess. And Christopher.
Yep. Here to annoy you in a different way.
I'll annoy you in my way. He'll annoy you in his.
And we're going to show some really weird stuff, and we're trying this out we think we're going to do some long-form weird kids videos.
A lot of them, yeah, are weird kids videos. I also kind of wanted to watch some like old QVC, but like we'll see what happens. Yeah. Honestly, I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's just try it. The only way to learn is to do.
Now, my favorite of the Found Footage Fest weird kids videos, because they don't really do kid videos.
No.
But the one that they found, loved the EP mode, loved everything about it, was Aerobics.
Aerobics, yes.
So I went and found that there's a whole series of these tapes. And
like different animals?
Well, they seem to have a lot about bears. There's one that's all about teddy bears, Christmas time with teddy bears.
Bear forward.
There's like a Stranger Danger one, which has a teddy bear. There's a Halloween one, which has a teddy bear as a character. But there's kind of an oddball one in it. Well, there's two oddball ones. One of them is a collection of Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit stories, which is pretty straightforward. But this one, it's just, for me, was just kind of odd. And Nick has this. It's The Owl and the Pussycat.
Yes.
And he's just said it was really, really terrible.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm going to disagree.
Oh?
I actually don't think it's that bad.
Really? Okay.
You know?
Well, I'll be the decider. I've never seen this before, so.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead.
We're going to go ahead and watch that. Is there anything we want to do before that, or are we going to go straight into it?
Like,
do you have anything to prime the pump, so to speak?
Prime the pump. Well, I've got, I've got my butt heads. His head is butt.
Yep.
And I just wanted to start us off with yeah. So that's what he does.
Just remember that plastic and oil are a finite resource, and so that's going to be around for thousands of years.
Yeah, and it's mine. Isn't that great?
Yep.
So he lives back here now, next to Mr. Chicken Whiskey.
Mm-hmm. This one is The Owl and the Pussycat, which is a poem by Edward Lear, which I want to say is how many lines? Not very long. I mean, it's something you can read in like 2 minutes, and they stretch this thing out to like almost 20 minutes, although there's quite a bit of padding on the end of like the previews and stuff.
Sure.
But they decided to do it as a musical, and even stranger, they decided to give The Owl and the Pussycat a backstory for some reason. Yeah.
I have specifically not done any research on this. I just kind of want to see it, how it is, how somebody in their living room would see it. So.
Yep. So it's 1980 something. I'm trying to see what year this is. Doesn't say, but 1980s. Rented this tape.
Yes.
You were ages 3 and up. And you set this down, and I also want to preface this with my daughter, when she was really young, liked this. Okay. Now she's kind of It exists. My wife absolutely hates this. Absolutely hates this. But
All right.
it's different. We'll say that.
Ooh. Oh, I'm a sucker for these kinds of bumpers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was. It determined this was like Riga animation.
Oh yeah.
It would have been that era. So,
Hmm. That's fair.
how are we on volume?
It's good.
1985. I was
Like a
3.
track. I was not yet born.
Once in the land where the wildly woods grow lived an owl in a hollow oak tree. A fine feathered fellow, a magnificent fowl who longed to sail over the sea. He saw in the sea what no others could see in the lore and the lure of the tide. He saw in the wonder of each crashing wave an excitement he just could not hide. So he sat on a branch where the wildly woods grow, but his heart beat in time with the sea. And he knew as sure as his feathers could fly that someday that is where he would be.
A pussy cat slept on a cushioned couch bed, making pussy whispery whir sounds. And a properly pampered feline she was, very much at home in the
Face.
town. She knew not of the land where the
derpy.
wildly woods grow. She
I guess
cared
she's
not
a
a
showbiz
whisker
cat.
to see
Oh,
the
she
sea
is.
that haunted the dreams of the owl.
Did you know that orange
Just was not
female
her
cats
cup
are
of
rare?
tea.
Is
So
it?
how, you
I
may
thought it was
ask, did the
calicos.
kitty and owl end up in Sir
Oh,
Edward Lear's poem?
calicos are
And
almost
why do they
always
sail in so
female.
strange a
Oh.
boat to end up so far from their home? Ah, that's a quest and a question to seek, but the answer is lost in the sand. 'Tis a mystery, a wonder no wise man will speak, but you will soon understand.
The words that they choose to
Who would
put on
have
the
ever
bottom there,
thought that my wings
it's
would
like
get so
they should
tired?
do either all
I
or
left the
none,
wildly
Yeah.
woods,
in my
about
It's not
opinion.
half
really
past
reading
spring,
along.
on a
No,
wonderful moonbright
and it's
night,
like,
and about
assuming
15
I'm
field
free
mice
enough, like
later,
I might not be
I
able to
was so
read.
tired
Yeah, you kind of feel like they could have done like the subtitles afterward, with standard like
Yeah,
subtitling equipment, but
yeah. Well,
because I actually have somewhere in my collection a Sesame Street one where all of the words are on there. It's one of those, like learn to read. But this, it just kind of gives you just a few, and it's like, why?
they're just very weirdly like chosen. They're just like at the very ends of sentences and stuff. Like they're not even like the important words.
Right, exactly.
It's an interesting choice on their part.
Yeah.
I couldn't flap another flap. So I came to nest near a farm and settled down in the barn for a rest.
My family couldn't be satisfied to stay in the city. Oh, no.
I
The
love that
little
voice.
missy finished school, and we all had to go visit the country cousins. Not a proper saucer of milk for miles. They drink from an old bowl. Outside of all things. Wow. And the cats that live in the barn? What a ratty bunch. Not a proper purr among the whole lot. They growl, if you can imagine such a thing.
So there I am, fast asleep, with my head tucked under my wing. Way up in the rafters of the barn I am, so those ratty barn cats can't cause me bother.
Into the barn.
When I hear the worst sounds I've ever heard in all my life. It was a fire-breathing horse with strange creatures that lived in its belly. Wham, bam, honk and crash.
So, based on the car, what year is this supposed to be?
I mean, that kind of looks. It looks 30s.
I'd even go earlier than that, but it's like
I don't know much about cars. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, The Owl and the Pussycat, the poem, was written in. I'm looking it up here. It is 1871, so there weren't cars then.
Right.
This is 1985, but they decided to give it like a Model T type car, so like the 19 teens or something. So
15 teens.
but whatever,
Yeah, I don't know what to call
Woke
it
me up,
either.
Yeah.
right in the middle of a dream about a pea-green boat bounding over the bounding main.
Pea green boat.
When we got there, I was asleep in the back of this movable house that the father used each day to go to work, whatever that is. I was asleep in a small window seat where the sun warms your fur. Then, all of a sudden, I went straight up in the air and let out a very unkitty-like yowl. I usually prefer to purr and preen my fur. However, what a racket! Wham! Bam! Honk! Crash! I was right in the middle of a dream about a pea-green couch that rocked back and forth as gently as you please.
Sure.
The first thing I saw when that noise woke me up was the most beautiful sight these eyes ever saw. Who would have believed such a wonder, all furry and elegant?
Oh, he's got
When
the
my
hots for
feet
the
touched the
cat.
ground, I heard a flutter of wings, and I looked up in the barn, and there he was, the most elegant and distinguished bird I had ever seen.
Not at all like the barn cats. This kitty had something special. My heart went, and my life would never be the same.
And I knew right from the start that my life would never be the same.
Cute. And sleeves. Kind of.
The drawing of it is what gets me. It's like why not just have it when it's all done?
Right. And I feel like the order in which the stuff loads or whatever is weird. Like if it was me doing this, first of all, I wouldn't, do that. But like, I'd have the eyes first because like that's what people look at. It's just like the eyes like always load last, which is odd.
I want to know how they went on all these dates.
Hmm?
How do they go on all these dates?
Oh, they're on dates?
Apparently,
I just completely blanked on what was going on here. But yeah, do they have money? Like, they're in a movie theater. How do they let a cat and an owl in?
is it our new snack bar?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty realistic. What's the cat doing? Like, is that a spool of thread?
Owl and the pussycat, innocent and free, set out on their pea green boat on a moonlit sea. They went out on the sea of dreams, the sea so deep and wide, searching for the hope they saw on the other side. The wind blew free on the deep blue sea, into the night they sailed, into the night they sailed.
Who's driving the boat?
And the pussycat.
I was gonna say he needed like a captain's hat there.
Oh my God, yes.
Innocent and free, set out on their pea green boat on a moonlit sea, 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 on a moonlit sea. The owl and the pussycat on a moonlit sea.
I don't hate this song.
The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took
did
some
people
honey
talk about
and
pea-green?
plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note.
It doesn't really look like a 5-pound note.
And that's also not pea green. Like, that's Kelly green.
Yeah. Well, the note isn't pea green. It's the boat.
I suppose.
But a 5-pound note, so that would be like, the British 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But, I actually looked up what it looks like, and it's, I'm fine with it, but
It's not pea
it's
green?
not green, no. Green money is an American thing. This will get in your head for weeks.
Is what you need in a boat, is what you need to keep you afloat. A little bit of honey, plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note, a 5-pound note, in a 5-pound note, in a 5-pound note. You need a little bit of honey, plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note. What do you need in a boat? What do you need to
This
keep
wasn't
you
the gas
afloat?
price.
Don't need spaghetti, don't need no
Okay, that was a little
confetti,
better.
don't even need a goat in my boat, in my boat, in my boat, in my
A goat.
You need a little bit of honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note.
Consider how little they had to work with. They were correctly interesting songs.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that they should have just had the art already
What do you
loaded.
need to keep you afloat? Don't need zucchini, don't need fettuccine, don't need a root beer float in my boat, in my boat, in my boat. No root beer float. You need a little bit of honey and plenty of money. Wrapped
What
up
are
in a
those?
5-pound note. Wrapped up in a 5-pound note.
Plant or something. No, because they'd be white in the middle.
The owl looked up to the stars above
Look a little
and
adult,
sang
is
to a
all I'm
small
saying.
guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are, you are. What a beautiful pussy you
That was a great place to pause. What a beautiful pussy.
Yeah.
are.
The cat.
Yeah. But it's also vagina.
You're so soft and you're so sweet. What a pretty kitty you are.
Naked baby. Oh, Cupid.
Gonna sing a song of love sung to you.
That's supposed to be Cupid?
Stars
Arrow.
Yeah, the wings.
play out my love on
Why has he got a horn and no arrow?
Cherry or something.
Oh, Mr. Owl, you're such an elegant bow. Oh, how I love to hear you sing. Soft-spoken melody, lay the stars down around me, promising.
Owl and pussy. I wasn't even.
There's a woman that I see on Reels every once in a while. I see Instagram reels, and she shows off like bad design or and stuff. One teenage boy. Show it to one teenage boy before you do this.
Yeah.
Sing it to the stars above, make it last our lives through. This song of love for you.
Well, there's his bow, I think.
Mr. Owl, a song of love. Gonna sing this song of love. Sing it to the stars above, make it last our lives through. This song just for you, oh kitty. Mr. Owl, a song of love.
Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married. Too long we have tarried. But what shall we do for a ring?"
Will you marry me? Will you take me off to be your own? For we have waited a long, long time. Now it's time. It's time to
Is that supposed to be a pea green boat? Because it looks teal.
Yeah. I don't know what the Amiga's color palette was. If this even is the
It looks
Amiga.
like, yeah,
with the tide in search of
very, like 32 would be my guess. I don't know.
wandering hand in hand the traces of our love.
They ran out of room for the Y. Plan ahead.
Chasing dreams, across Moonlight Bay, we'll follow our love through.
You notice some of these are reused from the montage earlier.
Oh yeah. But we're 3 and up. We're not supposed to remember that.
Right.
So
Some of the cat ones are very off model.
marry me,
yeah.
will
Like I guess they just figure just generic cat is good enough.
I like that she has the bridesmaid there.
Yeah,
Like that's a neat touch, you know?
it is.
But
It's
again, now this is looking less realistic, like
well,
style, and now it's going more like, I don't know, like Disney's Robin Hood or something, you know, whatever you call that style, the furry art style.
oh, I don't know if it has a name. I think it just is furry.
Yeah,
waited
anthropomorphized.
a long, long time.
We're probably gonna have to learn a lot about furries for
It's
this
time
series.
to go.
They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. And there in a wood a piggywig stood with a ring on the end of his nose, his nose, his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" said the piggy. "I will." So they took it away
Imagine
and
asking
were married
somebody,
next
"Can I
day
buy your nose ring?"
Yeah, we need that.
I need that one.
And
Direct
he
from
just-
your nose.
To his credit, he just like, yeah, whatever, sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. Yeah, if it makes a buck, like, whatever. But it's just kind of a weird request to make of somebody.
And in Riff Tracks, they did a thing called Fun in Balloon Land. And it's basically just balloon floats and stuff. But they reference the owl and the pussycat in it, and they talk about the marrying turkey. Which they make a lot of jokes about, but people had never heard of the marrying turkey, which I've never heard him called that, but they get married because, of course, a turkey in the weird animal kingdom is, of course, going to be the religious leader that's going to
course.
perform the ceremony. It's
This
obviously
is all new to me. I did not know about this trope.
I don't know. I mean,
This is the first wedding that officiated by a turkey I've ever seen. So,
I haven't been to many animal weddings, so
yeah,
you know.
same.
The turkey who lives on the hill. And they dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon.
Do we
And
know
hand
what
in
mince
hand
or
on the
runcible is?
Believe it or not, a runcible spoon is a spoon that has tines on it, which
Oh, it's like a
a
spork.
spork, yes.
Oh.
Except they think that definition came after the poem.
Oh.
So it's like they think that people not long after actually changed it, and yeah. I
Just
don't,
because of this, I like to think that sport got its name just
yeah.
because somebody didn't like this.
But there's also, I mean, spork is a very specific one. That's like the Kentucky Fried Chicken thing. But I mean, there were pickle forks and things like that, and that were part spoon and things like olive spoons more than pickles.
Yeah.
In previous life, I sold silverware, so
I can see that.
believe it or not, I sold antique silverware in a previous life. This is lore you didn't know.
I'm learning so much this
That
evening.
was one of my jobs in college. But anyway, but they ate with a runcible spoon.
Okay.
We'll say.
Edge of the
Hand
sand,
in hand,
they
the edge of the
danced
sand,
by
they
the
danced
light of the moon. The moon. They
The moon,
danced
the moon.
by the light of the moon.
The repetition is a little bit odd. Like the things that they choose to repeat.
Well, it's Edward Lear, so it's how he wrote the
Oh.
poem,
Okay.
which is for children.
Is he
19th century English, poet.
one of the untouchables? Okay, fine.
Yep.
They sailed away for a year.
I thought they were taking like artistic liberties here.
Where the balm tree grows.
I'm also just kind of a snarky bitch.
There no wood a piggy wig stood with a ring on the end of his nose. Oh, a ring on the end of his nose. So they asked the pig, will you sell your ring? And the pig he replied, I will. So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lived on the
They
hill.
bought the pig's nose
Oh, the
ring
turkey
and got
who
married
lives
with
on
it.
the hill.
You keeping up?
Yes, I just like they're using a snotty pig ring as a wedding ring. That's all I'm saying.
You washed it first. I don't know.
I hope so. The cat's paw just looks like a finger.
Dined on mince and slices
Oh,
of
no, it doesn't.
quince,
Never
which
mind.
they ate with a runcible spoon.
This is why they have the
And
art already
hand in
loaded.
hand on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon. Oh, they danced by the light of the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. Oh, they danced by the light of the moon.
The end. The Owl and the Pussycat. Well, it was different.
Yeah.
I'd never seen any. I've never seen graphics that look like that used in this kind of scenario before. That's definitely interesting. I'm glad they tried it.
I'll be honest, I don't hate the music.
I don't hate it either.
I kind of want to hear George cover 5 Pound Note.
Yeah.
Other than that, did you want to watch the previews or skip that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's our show. We can do what we want.
If you enjoyed this video magic book presentation, here are some other video
Ooh, it's a
read-alongs that you will
presentation.
find both interesting and entertaining.
Interesting and
becoming real forever.
I hope so.
Based on the classic children's story The Velveteen Rabbit by
Oh, yes, I
Marjorie
have this one,
Williams.
too.
A marvelous tale in which a
Yeah.
toy becomes a source of strength for a young boy who is very ill. When the small spotted rabbit becomes real forever, we all share his joy. Who's afraid of the dark?
I like how...
Most of us have seen
I was
monsters
just about
in
to say,
the
these all look
shadows.
like they take place
This
at night,
award-winning
but
musical helps young people
This
deal
one
with those
definitely
fears.
does.
Parents' Choice magazine called this presentation remarkable.
look at that silly guy.
Frank with a Frank.
Right with a... Oh,
Music
my
by
God.
the Bear G's provides
word.
fun and games for teddy bears and their friends
Yes.
in Bearobics. Dance along to Disco Teddy Bear, Hive Talking, and enjoy the beautiful message of teddy bear love.
Beautiful message. Teddy bear
For
love.
teddy bear lovers of all ages, it's all about teddy bears. A collection of songs and stories that share the secrets of America's favorite toy. Learn how the first teddy got his name, how to make honey cookies, and enjoy the most famous teddy bear song of all time, Teddy Bear's Picnic.
Teddy Bear's Picnic is not on that. It's false advertising.
I feel like we should, like, sue somebody.
Yeah. This company doesn't exist anymore, so...
Okay, well,
Where they
I
were
guess the
located.
work's already been done for us.
I Googled kind of around a little bit. They went out of business at one point, and
Yeah, fair.
it looks like the building they were even in is not even there anymore, so...
Wow, they got shut
Beatrix
down
Potter
so
gave
hard they got
life
rid
to
of the
Peter
building,
Rabbit
too.
and his friends years and years ago. They are more wonderful than ever before in this magnificent retelling of tales from Mr. McGregor's Cabbage Patch.
Yeah, 1 Charles Street, Providence, Rhode Island, so...
Well,
We should
Anyone-
ask Steve. Steve's from Rhode Island. He should...
yeah,
It's a small enough state.
that's true.
1985 Advanced Video Group.
It's copyrighted material and only for private home use.
This counts. This is fine.
Yeah, I'm at home.
So am I.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm a private guy. So this is your picture.
Yeah, so I found this when you told me what we were watching, and this is a cardboard standee that you can buy. That I think that is what the Owl and the Pussycats children would look like.
Wow, definitely money well spent there, and it looks so real. It looks like it's right out in, they went on location to somewhere in Sheboygan suburban
Yeah.
area and
And
propped
I
up
believe,
somebody's yard. Actually, no, that's more the English countryside or something.
yeah. Listen, I think that these are just like they aren't even like full like 3D, model, whatever they call those things that scare away the birds with the owl. They're not even like a full 3D thing. It's just like a piece of like cardboard that you're gonna stand up in your yard. So if anybody wants one of those, I'll put a link to them if I can find them again. We're very professional around here. No idea what I'm doing yet, but that's okay.
Okay, and so we got one musical interpretation of The Owl and the Pussycat there. Another one here. This is a lot shorter. There was a Canadian television show called Under the Umbrella Tree, which was on CTC, I believe, in Canada, and one of those rare shows that didn't end up being owned by Cookie Jar, and then whatever the company is after Cookie Jar. It swallowed up a lot of Canadian children's shows, but
Sure.
this one seems to still be owned by the original producers. But it's kind of what I consider my holy grail TV show, because even though I grew up in the United States, in the early days of cable, if you want to call the late 80s, early 90s, that wasn't really the early days, but compared to what we have now, or even 10 years ago, the Disney Channel did not have enough content. I mean, Disney. The idea of Disney
Imagine
Plus.
that.
No, and you think about it, like Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's wild.
They had this whole library to dump on there.
Yeah.
They didn't have enough children's programming on there, and instead of doing the Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, let's spend billions of dollars and get ourselves in the hole and buy up produce a million shows, they just went and they bought them. And therefore on the cable channels, we got a lot of Canadian shows, we got a lot of British shows, but Disney
I think
Channel
that Canada
especially.
has to make like a certain amount of like educational shows in order to there's some kind of like funding law
Yes,
in
and
Canada,
the
so like they
TV
have a
has to
lot of this stuff.
show a certain amount,
Yeah,
and they can't during their children's shows, which they can't have commercials.
yeah, that's fair.
So something like Transformers wouldn't fly up there, at least not in the 80s, which they
Yeah,
couldn't have the glorified TV commercial.
sure.
So this is a show that did receive some public funding, so there's no merchandise for it at all. The only thing that's really out there is a couple of still pictures and things like that, and a couple of video releases. But
Whatever anyone puts on Etsy
basically,
after this evening, I'm sure there will be. Everyone's going to go out and put something on Etsy from this.
yeah. But growing up, I saw this on the Disney Channel, and it was to this day, if I find new episodes of this on tapes, I'm really excited. So
I'll keep that in mind.
a whole bunch of them were put up on YouTube at one point, and they've all been taken down.
Sorry for your
well,
loss.
the company that owns them put them up, and
Sure.
they closed the YouTube channel. I forget the reasoning for it, but
Okay.
either way, I was able to get what I got in, which was great. But they decided to take on the Owl and the Pussycat in one of their episodes, so I trimmed it down to about a minute 36.
I'm going to say
Yeah,
hours.
get
She's
the
like,
flubs. This is a minute 36, which is probably about a tenth of how long I've been talking about it. So, yeah.
that's fair.
But this is their take on it.
The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful
Pussy you are, what a beautiful pussy you are.
Pussy said to the owl, you elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Pray let us be married, too long have we tarried, but what will we do for a ring?
They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree
Tails
grows.
on that
And there
chihuahua.
in the wood, a piggy wig stood
Or
with a
funny.
ring on the end of his nose.
chihuahua?
His nose, a ring on the end of his nose.
It's
Dear
a
pig,
gopher,
are you willing to
lizard
sell
and
for 1
a-
shilling your ring?
Oh.
Said the piggy, I will.
I stand correct.
So they took it away and were married that day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon.
Sport.
And hand in hand on the edge of the sand, they
Danced by the light of the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Cute.
So that's the Owl and the Pussycat, as told by Under the Umbrella Tree. So,
Super cute.
you have a particular favorite of the two, or
I think the Under the Umbrella Tree one was more. It felt more like a children's show.
yes,
the-
that was a very high quality puppet show.
Yeah,
which-
and I think the Owl and the Pussycat, the Amiga version,
Yeah.
I'm glad they tried it that way.
It
But I'm
was
not a huge fan of the graphics treatment, I'm gonna be honest.
it was the Wild West days
Oh
of
yeah.
VHS, where you just threw something against the wall and made it see if what would stick. It's kind of like
Right.
YouTube is now,
Yeah,
or
well,
actually
AI
more like
definitely right
YouTube was
now.
10 years ago, and
Yeah. I was
where
like,
you have an idea, you put it out there, you
yeah,
see if you can make some money off of it, and
it's very much a relic of a time gone by. I'm glad they tried it.
and
I'd have done things different, but like, also I wasn't there then.
the
So,
the interesting thing is, on at least one of these, it actually has, and it might be on one of the ones that's on there, where it actually has like a blip of this particular educators group said this is really educational, or this is a really high quality thing.
sure.
But I like this too. Note computer. I read that, but well, anyway, it says computer
It's little.
generated art is very color saturated. If your picture looks blurry, adjust the fine tuning of your set. So that's
Okay.
good to know. If you're having this looks blurry, just adjust your television set.
I found this old, well, I say old, it's from 2007. Um, it's a children's show from a Texas public access station called Converse Access Television. And it is called The Adventures of Ging-Gong the Cat, Part 2. I just now found out that it was Part 2. I'll have to find out if I can find Part 1 if anyone cares. But it's a trip. I cut it down to what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. And it's a whole bunch of clip art, and there's just questionable costumes. Well, there's one questionable costume, but it keeps showing up.
There we go.
You give your hands a clap, you give yourself a shake, you
Might
make
turn
a
the volume
friendly
up. It's
circle
very
for it's time to cut the cake. You gotta stomp, 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 and clap, clap, clap. Turn around, you gotta touch the ground. I got a tiger by the tail, and I'm gonna hold on tight.
That dance was so
The
long.
tiger
I
sat
cut it
beneath a
down.
tree and was
Yeah.
crying so loud it broke Gingong's heart.
I love
The
that that's
tiger
just
had
like
his
the
tail in his
same
hands. My name is
graphic.
Tchaikovsky, and I can't
The
get
Three
my tail
Stooges
back
paid
on.
heavily for that product
Gingong had
placement.
just the thing. He opened his satchel and he took out his stick of gum. He chewed the gum and he handed it to Tchaikovsky. The tiger stuck his tail back on and he was so happy that he did a little dance.
Clap,
I mean, it looks like
clap,
the grown-ups are having so much fun, and the
shake
kids are
your
just there
head and
because they
nod your
have to
head
be.
and touch your toe.
Oh, my dear me, for goodness sakes, I need to dust off my stones. I have some company coming over, but I cannot find a rag for my ragtime.
Who's talking?
I think I was supposed to be the bunny. He was like, I can't find a rag for my ragtime. This song is just actually it's really catchy. I think it's mildly religious. I'm not sure, honestly, and I guess that's the way you want it to be when it comes to might be religious content.
They all have the cat.
Oh yeah, they do.
MyCatPaws.com.
Look that up if it's still on. Well, there's a whole bunch of episodes of this.
So Converse Access Television.
Yeah. Apparently, it won some awards from like PBS or something.
I thought you were gonna say it won some awards from their printer. That's where her theater degree came from, you know. It's like, there's kind of a it's unfair. We'll say that it's unfair, but there's kind of a trope of if you can't make it in legitimate art, you either go children or you go religious. Because I've often said that with the problem with a lot of religious entertainment is you have an underserved market that is just so desperate for content that they're willing to put up with subpar entertainment.
Yeah,
And then
like
kids don't know any better. It's almost like sometimes they just want motion. I mean, depending if they're really little, they just want motion and they want music and funny
yeah,
sounds and things like that. I
they
find
just want
it
their brain stimulated in some way. Yeah,
when they get about kindergarten, that's when they start becoming a little more discerning.
sure.
And but no, in general, no. And
Yeah,
with the Christian side of things, it's like sometimes I swear some of the stuff is just not good at all, and I'm just
no,
like, is this you just really want to watch this all? I mean, there's
it's
secular stuff that's not offensive that you could be watching right now. You don't have to be watching this, or you
right.
could be reading a book, you know,
Or you could
or
just go do something else.
going outside, you
it
know,
it
washing
kind
your
of
couch. I don't know.
washing your couch. Shake your couch outside, hose it down.
Yeah,
You could be
I'm
doing
watering
that.
the sofa.
It kind of
It's just a
reminds me of cat TV. So I've got my cat Libby. She just has she's very active little brain for how stupid she is. Love her to death, but she needs to watch TV sometimes because she's basically a cat child. And cat TV, like there are channels that will just like have stuff that just like moves around in an interesting way, and cat loves it. But like I'm sitting here looking at it like this sucks.
Is it like an aquarium or something like that, or
Well, I actually kind of like the aquariums, but I'm talking about like um, there's this one clip in particular, a picture of a fly being moved around a screen over just a
hmm
pile of meat.
okay?
It's so very obviously a person voicing it, and like their voice cracks in the middle of it.
Not Jeff Goldblum.
What about Jeff Goldblum?
He wasn't the fly.
No, I don't think he was.
Okay,
I think it was probably just the
that was a
person.
different version of the fly then.
Yeah.
Not the
Oh,
Vincent
I see.
Price
Yeah.
or the original one. Or I
Cats will just watch anything.
I do know there was a cable network or a cable provider on. This was back in the 90s,
Hmm.
and this is when the Sci-Fi Channel. I believe it was the Sci-Fi Channel. It was one of the channels, and it was new, but they said they set it up, and something happened that they couldn't start it at the exact date. It was something like, oh, you had to wait a month or two. But they'd already had it set up, so what they did was they took a camera and they set it up and pointed it at the fish tank that was in the lobby
Hmm.
of the cable provider. And then a month later, whatever, they get the Sci-Fi Channel started up, and they got flooded with calls and letters and stuff saying, what happened to the aquarium? I loved the aquarium.
Aw.
So they had to create another channel, I guess, to basically bring back the aquarium, which
I love that
free
energy.
content, I guess, for them. But,
Well,
you
yeah, I
know,
mean, there is definitely, the studies have shown you watch fish, your blood pressure goes down. So that, I
there
mean,
are tapes of aquariums out there. Um,
yeah,
they
that's
more
that's true, but you have
DVDs
to
than
get up
tapes.
and go and put it in your VCR then, and
Yeah, it's kind of
you
like
know,
the Yule logs and stuff like that,
I love
which
the Yule
there
log.
are tons of those up on YouTube and things like that. And
Yes.
I
The
per
best one was in 2020 when they just put a dumpster fire on there.
Mhm.
It just labeled the dumpster 2020 and put that out as
Yeah,
like a Yule log.
there's an older gentleman at my church, and he wanted to tell me. I don't know why he wanted to tell me specifically, but he knows I'm the IT guy, and he wanted to tell me this,
Why?
that because he can't travel anything anymore and stuff like that, and he's a big train guy. You know, he had the model trains and all that stuff, which he had to get rid of. But he discovered on YouTube that there were films of train rides all over the world where they basically put like a camera at the front of the train.
Ooh.
And it would start and it would go through, or sometimes there would be, inside the train and you can hear all of the announcements and everything. And he would put that on his TV and it would be like a 3-hour train ride and he'd have it on. He's like,
yeah.
no, I'm watching, got that on. He's like, I'm not watching it the whole time. I'm reading a book or I'm, getting my dinner ready or something and I can just peek in and see where it's going. And I'm like, that's amazing, It's
ambient content. It's a thing.
I mean, it's...
I kind of view that, like, I do that with Home Shopping Network and QVC and that kind of stuff. I love videos and like shows of people talking about items. I find that very relaxing, and I love that, like, they have to talk about like this ugly item of clothing for like 20 minutes and come up with all of the good things about it, even if there are none. Telling you what you can do in it, where you can go, what it would look good with. Like, it's
like the Mike Rowe ones that they've shown, or John and Johnny on VCR Party. Those are great.
What's the one got the polio sport guy?
Yeah, Auction Alley.
Auction Alley. Yep, I love that one.
All right, so we want to wrap this one up and give this one a shot, and we'll let us know what you think about it. Think if it's a good or bad or indifferent.
Let us know how much you love us.
Yep. And any ideas for the future or anything like that. So
we're all ears.
All right. So
all right. Have a good night.
P. Whoa! There are just too many!